They didn't want a quick score. They wanted the whole damn city. The empire builders don't just survive the streets. They own them. These are the ones who rise from the gutter, take over the block, and don't stop until their name's echoed through every alley and penthouse. They build businesses, bend governments, and burn anyone in their way. Tommy, CJ, Michael, Franklin, and yeah, even your GTA Online character. Let's meet the Kings of Concrete. 15 years. That's how long Tommy Vercetti sat in a prison cell for doing the Forelli family's dirty work. No snitching, no shortcuts, just time. So what's his reward? They send him to Vice City, not for a promotion, but to get him out of the way. One drug deal, in and out. Except the deal blows up. The money's gone, the drugs are gone, and Tommy, he's alive, pissed, and plotting. Most men would run. Tommy builds an empire. He plays the game smarter, works with smugglers, bikers, real estate sharks, anyone who gets him closer to the top. By the time he's done, Tommy Vercetti is Vice City. Not just the clubs and the cash. He runs the whole damn vibe. He started as a pawn. He ended up the king. Scarface with better hair. CJ didn't come home for power. He came home for a funeral. His mom was murdered. His gang was falling apart. Grove Street was a ghost town. So he picked up a bike and started rebuilding everything. At first, it's about family, loyalty, getting respect back. But CJ doesn't stop there. He starts flipping neighborhoods, buying up fronts, taking over the city one corner at a time. Then it gets wild. Casinos in Las Venturas, government deals, a stolen jetpack from a top-secret base. By the end, he's not just repping Grove Street. He owns the state. CJ came home a soldier. He left as a legend. Michael had it all. The mansion, the money, the witness protection deal. But deep down, he missed the game, missed the action. So when Franklin walks through his door, hungry and sharp, Michael sees something familiar. He trains him, teams up with him, and together they start pulling off heists again. Big ones. Except this time, the FIB is watching. So is Trevor, an old partner who thought Michael was dead. And suddenly, the dream life becomes a full-blown nightmare. Michael's empire is built on lies and glass. And sooner or later, glass breaks. Franklin starts with nothing. A repo job, a dream, and a front-row seat to other people's success. But then he meets Michael, learns the ropes, and realizes crime, done right, is a career. Franklin rises fast. Steals cars, runs heists, buys businesses, and proves he's more than just a kid from South Los Santos. But success brings new enemies, new problems, and choices that can't be undone. He wanted out of the hood. Now he's got a view from the top, but it cost him everything else. They never speak, never blink, just grind. The GTA Online protagonist starts as a nobody, with a stolen car and a dirty jacket. Now, they own drug labs, bunkers, casinos, arcades, submarines, missile-launching hover bikes, and a fleet of cars worth more than most countries. No backstory, no dialogue, just business. They didn't just build an empire. They built 10. Some came for revenge. Some just wanted peace. But the streets don't care what you want, only what you're willing to do to stay alive. The survivors didn't chase the crown. They weren't in it for power or glory. They were thrown into the fire and left to claw their way out. Victor Vance, Luis Lopez, Mike, Huang Lee, Lucia and Jason. Each one backed into a corner, each one choosing to fight. Let's meet the ones who made it out alive, or at least tried to. Victor Vance just wanted to do the right thing. A soldier in the army, looking to support his sick brother and stay out of trouble. But when his corrupt sergeant stashes drugs under his bed, Victor gets thrown out. Dishonorable discharge, no job, no future. He turns to the streets, taking odd jobs just to survive. But in Vice City, there's no such thing as a small favor. One deal turns into 10. One lie leads to a war. Victor tries to stay honest, but the deeper he goes, the harder it is to climb back out. He wasn't built for this life, but he lived it anyway. Luis lives in Liberty City's nightlife, bodyguard by trade, club scene by default, caught between champagne and gunfire. He works for Gay Tony, the king of clubs and the king of debts. Every bottle service gig turns into a gunfight, a helicopter chase, or a diamond deal gone sideways. Luis isn't in it for the thrill. He's in it to keep his mother safe, his friends alive, and the money flowing, just enough to keep the whole thing from collapsing. Luis doesn't run the city. He holds it up with one hand on the bottle and the other on the trigger. Mike didn't want to be a boss. He just wanted to survive. His partner Vinny gets blown up. The cops think Mike did it. The gangs want his head. Now he's running through Liberty City, looking for answers, dodging bullets, and burning every bridge he crosses. It's not about empire. It's not about power. It's about making it to the next day. And maybe, just maybe, finding the truth behind the betrayal. Huang Lee's father was murdered. His inheritance, a ceremonial sword, and a one-way ticket into a triad power struggle. He's ambushed at the airport, left for dead, and still shows up to the next meeting in a fresh suit. Huang isn't loud, he isn't flashy, but he's ruthless, intelligent, and always 2 steps ahead. He digs through corruption, betrayal, and back-alley deals in Liberty City's underworld, without ever losing his edge. Huang didn't just survive, he outplayed everyone. We don't know their full story yet, but from what we've seen, Lucia and Jason don't play games. They rob, run, and ride or die. Lucia's done time. Jason's street smart. Together they're not chasing fame. They're chasing survival. Whether they're lovers, partners, or just 2 people trying not to die, one thing is clear. This isn't about respect. It's about staying alive in a world that wants you buried. They don't talk. They don't explain. They just act. The silent killers move through the world like shadows. No speeches, no warnings, just a body count in their wake. You'll never hear their voices, but you'll feel their presence. They let their actions do the storytelling, and their stories always end in blood. He had a crew, he had a girl, and she shot him in the gut and left him for dead. That was her last mistake. Claude escapes prison during a transfer, and from there it's nothing but payback. He works for every gang that'll pay him, from the mafia to the yakuza to crooked politicians. No questions, no hesitation. Just drive, kill, repeat. He never says a word, not to his enemies, not to his allies, not even to the woman who betrayed him, because Claude doesn't need words. He speaks fluent violence. They were the originals. No voice, no cutscenes, no names you'd remember. Just you, a car, and a city full of chaos. They didn't talk their way to the top. They stole, shot, and exploded their way there. Payphones gave missions, the cops gave chase, and the world gave you one message: do crime or die trying. They were blank slates, but they laid the foundation for everything that came after. The nameless faces that started it all. Yeah, we've mentioned them before, but they don't just belong to one group. They're a silent killer too. No voice, no backstory, just an unholy amount of power, money, and arsenal. They'll run a nightclub in the morning, blow up a CEO's convoy in the afternoon, and spend the evening launching a satellite-mounted death laser. No speeches, no drama, just dominance. They're not here for empires. They're not trying to survive. They just want freedom, even if it means burning the world to get it. The psychos and wildcards don't follow logic. They follow instinct, rage, or pure adrenaline. They're the nuclear option, the final boss of every room they walk into. Trevor Phillips, Claude Speed. 2 different timelines, same explosive energy. Let's meet the men who can't be controlled. Trevor doesn't fake it. He doesn't sugarcoat. He's not here to be liked. He's here to destroy. Years ago, he robbed banks with Michael, until Michael faked his death and disappeared. Now Trevor's running his own chaos empire in the desert. Drugs, guns, torture, meth labs, biker wars. When he finds out Michael's alive, he drives straight to Los Santos, and the body count starts climbing. Trevor doesn't care about money, or power, or plans. He's in it for the feeling, the blood, the boom, the freedom. He's dangerous, he's brilliant, he's unstoppable. He's GTA's wildest card. Different Claude, same chaos. In Anywhere City, everything's a mess. Gangs, cults, corporations, cars that talk to you. And in the middle of it is Claude Speed. Fast talking, fast driving, fast dying. He works for everyone. Yakuza, scientists, religious freaks. Switches sides like it's nothing. Kills without blinking. steals without thinking. He even gets shot in the head in a live-action intro. But in the game, he just keeps going, like death didn't get the memo. He's not a mastermind. He's not a soldier. He's a maniac on a mission, and the mission is more. They didn't want fame. They weren't chasing fortune. They just wanted to do right by someone, a family, a crew, a cause. And in return, they got betrayed, broken, or buried. The loyal soldiers live by a code, even when the people they serve don't. Tony Cipriani, Johnny Klebitz, Niko Bellic. They weren't born leaders, but they fought like it was all they had left. Let's meet the ones who gave everything, and still weren't given enough. Tony did the job. He killed for the Leone family. Then he vanished for a few years to let the heat die down. When he comes back, he expects respect, a promotion, maybe a taste of the throne. Instead, he gets disrespected, undermined, and sent on garbage work by people who forgot his name. Even his own mother mocks him. But Tony doesn't whine. He goes to war. Rival gangs, crooked politicians, mob betrayals, nothing slows him down. He fights for his spot, earns every inch, because Tony isn't trying to be a king. He's just trying to be loyal in a world that kills loyalty first. Johnny is the vice president of the Lost MC, and for a minute, he's the only one trying to keep the gang from tearing itself apart. His crew's wild, his president's unstable, and every decision feels like choosing the lesser evil. Johnny negotiates peace deals, avoids wars, and tries to build something smarter. But the others, they want drugs, violence, the old ways. Johnny gets crushed between what's right for the club and what the club wants. His story isn't about rising. It's about holding on while everything falls apart. Niko didn't come to Liberty City for power. He came for peace, a second chance, a new life with his cousin Roman, who promised him freedom and luxury. What he found? Debt, danger, lies. Niko's past is full of war, betrayal, and ghosts. But Liberty City won't let him escape it. So he picks up a gun again. He worked for mobsters, politicians, arms dealers, each one dragging him further into the mess. He wants peace, but peace doesn't pay. And in Liberty City, nothing is free. Niko doesn't fight for glory. He fights to stop losing. From nameless crooks to empire kings, from quiet killers to broken soldiers, every GTA protagonist is a product of their world, and every world in GTA is built to break them. Some rise, some fall, some just refuse to die. But whether they're robbing banks, burying friends, or just trying to make rent, they all have one thing in common. They never walk away clean.